go.
Hi, good evening. It's Wednesday, February 3rd, and I'm here to have some fun stamping this evening. Waiting for the thumbs up from Bill that everything is looking good on the receiving end. All right. Tonight, we are going to talk and play with Pretty Perennials. This is a bundle. This was designed by a Stampin' Up demo. Anytime you see this little gold emblem down here, that means that a demonstrator reached the achievement of selling $1 million and they get the opportunity to design a stamp set. And I saw this demonstrated last fall at the Stampin' Up convention, and I just really loved it. It was Dina, I'm not going to pronounce her name right, but it's in the catalog row. I just think this set is so pretty. I love the flowers. I love the happy. It looks happy when you see it, and you can fussy cut it out. The dies are beautiful. I tell you what, we're going to have more than one night with this set because tonight I basically just went with the stamps and didn't get into the dies a lot. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. So I'm also adding to our demo this evening the paper that's one of the celebrations. Remember now, celebration is only through the end of February, so if there's something on your wish list, now's the time to get it. And this is the Paper Blooms Design Series paper, and these are the papers that are in that set, the front and back, and then the colors that they coordinate with: Old Navy, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, and Soft Sea Foam. I just think they're so pretty and springy looking. So let's go ahead and start playing with, I'm going to show you, I'm going to slide these out of my way. These are the cards we're looking at tonight. This is Sending Lots of Love. And I did use one of the dies. Happy little decorating inside. We're going to make this card, the first card. This is another one I did, and we're going to do a Embossed Resist technique this evening. It's got a little happy there with some embellishments. I just love Embossed Resist. And then some decoration on the inside, and then I can put birthday or whatever I want there. And then this last one I did, I'm not going to demo it, but I wanted to show it to you. I made it very plain, and I just put happy on the front. My little dots, I probably could have used 1/8 of an inch instead of a 1/4 inch dot that I punched out. And then just birthday, very simplistic. But I'm hoping that you can see what looks like would have been an embossing folder on this. It wasn't. There is a way to take dies, and I think maybe in my next video I'll demo this card. I took these dies and I laid them on this paper, but when I run them through the Big Shot, instead of using the 2 plastic plates, if you put the silicone piece in there, it leaves an impression on the paper but doesn't cut the die out. So those are the ones we're going to work on. So let's do this one first. Let me bring in my little kit here. So we're going to work with our card base, Whisper White, Basic White now. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. And then the first thing we're going to put on is a piece of Seaside Spray, which is 1 1/4 by 5.5. And we're just going to get some glue out of here. And we're just going to eyeball that, put it on. If it's a little over, that's okay. We can trim that all off when we're done. Then I'm going to bring in this piece of DSP. And you could really do either side. I'm going to use the flower side. This piece is 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. Okay, so we're going to put that down. And then I did cut a piece of, I was going to say Rococo Rose, soft sea foam. And this is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So I'm going to pop that down. Come on. It's a brand new bottle, so my glue is flowing freely. Okay, and then this was out of the stitched dies, and this stitched die measures about 2 3/16 by 2 3/16. And I'm not going to stamp anything on it. I'm just going to, again, adhere this down. Now, you could, as always, I say personal choice dimensionals, but I don't know if anybody else has heard. I think several of us have taken cards to the post office, and if the dimensionals are too high, it's not just like the double stamp anymore. They get up into the couple dollars to mail them. Okay, so then I did go in and I cut this with the die cut. I think it's so pretty. So we're going to pop this on. I'm going to grab my other glue bottle that I put some of my glue in so I have that finer tip so that I can be careful of where the glue goes. I just like this. I have a little more control. And this is, like I said, I think I told you guys before, this is just a little bottle that I got with some quilling supplies. All right. So I'm just going to pop that on there. And then I pre-stamped my Sending Lots of Love. Whoop, I did it on both sides. I think I'll stick with this side. I'm all thumbs tonight. Let's see. Okay. And then I did make a ribbon, well, a bow. And this is just out of the twine. And I just did 2 strings and tied those together. And I'm just going to put it here on the edge. And then I pulled out these elegant faceted gems. I sort of like that pink that's in here. So we're just going to put a few of those on our card. Let's see. All right. Now, what I have not done, let me see, I need a little bit of glue right there on the edge. It's another nice thing that little tip is good for. I haven't stamped the inside of this card. I thought we would do that this evening. Now, because this happy is such a big stamp, I worry about being able to get that stamped the first time. And so I do bring out my Stamparatus that allows me, I already lined it up where I did my first card that I showed you. So let's get that in the corner. Get a couple magnets. I'm just going to double check. Yep, that's where I want that. I'm going to grab the Old Navy. So this way, if the image doesn't come out clean the first time, I can always stamp it again. I like to do that when it comes to these big images. I got lucky. Look at that. First time. All right. I can just leave this in here to do the other stamping. I'm going to bring back some other colors. I liked the big flower. So we're going to bring out some Rococo Rose. I like these flowers. They're that textured feel to them when you stamp them. There we go. I like that. It gives that color wash look. And then in the kit, there are some little dots. I know there's a scientific name for that, for the center of flowers. But the only thing that's coming to mind is stamen, but I think that's the little tall things on a flower, not the little dots. I should have paid better attention in science class. Now, for the leaves, it's actually 2 stamping. I put them both on here and I'll work from each side. The first one I'm going to do is the outline of the leaf. And I'm going to do that in full strength. And then on the other side of my stamp pad or my block, I have the inserts. And I'm just going to stamp that off. So that, let me take that one off. A little lighter. There we go. And there's our first card, sending lots of happy. I really like this paper. And my blue piece is just slightly long here. What's nice, rather long than short, because I can just come in here now and trim that off. There we go. I hope you guys like that one. We may move some things around. Okay. Now we're going to work on this card. This is one of, like I said, one of my favorite techniques. And it's called Embossed Resist because when you're doing, got to bring in some scratch paper here. When you're doing this card, if anybody hasn't heard of that before, I went ahead, you take white paper and do white embossing. Hopefully you can see the shine on there. So I went ahead and embossed all the flowers from this stamp set. I did the little dots in the middle, some of the little just stems and swirly things. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my inks, and I'm going to bring in our new blending brushes that are in the new mini catalog. I just love these brushes, and they are washable. I didn't wash them out last night since I was going to be reusing them, but they clean up really well, and once you clean them, they don't transfer the ink. So for this, we're going to use Poppy Parade. I'm going to put that here with my red brush, and we're going to use Crushed Curry. So I have that one here. And then the last color I have is Balmy Blue. So I'm just going to take my brush. We'll start with the blue. Rub that on there. I always start off of the background and then bring that in. And just look how beautiful these add that color to your cardstock. They just blend right on there. And then you can really start to see what you embossed show up. We're going to throw some yellow in here. And then on the edge there where the blue was, we'll blend that in. Gives that little bit of a green tint there. Grab some red. Do the same thing. Oh, I just love that look. All right. This one's actually coming out a little darker than my other one. So if you want to knock it down a little, you can. I'm going to come back here with some blue on that yellow. So you can just keep playing with it until you get what you like. I think that's good enough for me. Close my ink because I know me, I will have ink on top of everything. Move my blending brushes there. I'm going to bring in just a microfiber cloth and wipe this off to get the ink off of what was embossed. And that just takes that right off of there because it doesn't want to stick. Add a little bit of water. Barely damp at all. There you go. So for this one now, I have my card base ready. I made this a little larger than it needed to be. I need to get this down to 2¼ inches. This is 2½ that's going to go on there. And I'm looking for my, I buried my little trimmer. So I'm just looking here. It's got to come down quite a bit. I'm just going to chop a little bit off each side until I get down to that. Let's see, I'll just take it to 2¼ Okay. There's our 2¼ That should go right on my black piece. It'll hang over a little, no problem. I will trim that off once I attach it. I just think that's so pretty. And you can stamp any image in that white embossing powder on white and then do that sponging of the color to do your background. Let's see. There we go. We have that on there. It's hanging over a little, no problem. We'll just get out the scissors and trim that along. Now, I had pre-done the stamping on this card, and then look, I dumped it in ink. But I did a happy here, and I had done the inside to do all of the same stamps that I had used on the front. But I thought, you know what? I don't have to waste this card, because when I put this down, it's going to cover that. So we'll just get some glue on the back of here. And we'll just line that up. There we go. Isn't that a pretty spring card? And then what's nice, you can write anything you want on the inside of it. That I just love that stamp happy. When I see it, it makes me happy. The cursive on it is so pretty. And then for this one, I thought I will just bring in some pearls to go with that white. I'll grab my Pick a tool. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So let me move some things out of my way here. I lost the pin out of my bottle I'll have to find. So this was, again, the pretty Perennials in the new mini catalog with the paper blossoms. So this was the one we didn't make, but that's one for you to see, the third. And then we did this Sending Love. And we did the happy card with the Embossed Resist. I hope you like these this evening. Again, I always appreciate when you join me. So remember that the mini catalog celebrations is up at the end of February. So if there's something that you wanted, this is the month to order. And Bill did send out the newsletter, I think either last night or this morning. And in there is the new February hostess code. So if you want to use that. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Deborah. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. And have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.